Hi there, Virgo. This is Joy with Joy to the World, ready to take a peek into the energies going on around you. So, your energy is very sparky, very playful today. And let me say this first, I wish I could call each one of you by name. The energy that works with me and through me is very intimate, very personal, very devoted and loyal and specific to you, to each one of you. And so I'm seeing an awakening going on here because Virgo can be very playful, but it's also very serious at the same time. It's very other driven, very life changing, very life giving. But there's a turn of the tide going on. And I saw it coming out in the Leo. So some of you, if your birthday is closer to the Leo mark, I would recommend going to take a listen to that. So anyways, first of all, like, subscribe, share. Please get this word out to those that could use a life-giving message. The energy that loves to come through here talks more about diving and delving into and connecting with the energies going on around us. Not just that internal dialogue of specific things, but shifting your amnio, shifting your energy, your calling in and your sending out in order to align with the true divine being that you are, and to reduce the friction and the going against the grain, to be able to get in tune with this sweet nectar of life, the vibe. My name, Melissa Joy, actually means the sweet nectar of life. And so that's what I feel like comes through here. The hummingbird vibe, the moving at the pure clear channel of swift moving light. See here we have the star. This is for the stars, those who are ready to engage in this new dialogue of where everything is moving. We're shifting from 200 years in an earth cycle to stepping into the air, which is things moving, you see vocally, and it's not so much what we say with these two flapping things on our face. It's coming more into communicating through the mind and the heart together right here, the pure intention, the truth. And it doesn't require words to utter it. It has more to do with being in tune. This being in tune with your environment, being in tune with these divine energies that are around us that want to connect, have a relationship, not just to give and to pour forth as if we're this elevated platform because we're human. We're the point of connection. We are the bridge. And we want that energy to dance back and forth like we see going on here. Now, mind you, this is not your spread. This is your energy that was chatting things up and telling me what you're wanting and where you're coming from in that. So we'll just jump on in. And it has to do with shifting really from work to play, play to work. So you're wanting to turn the wheel. To me, the Wheel of Fortune in most decks has that element going on in it. And not necessarily connecting with yourself, but moving through some passage of time, turning the wheel, turning the cycle, turning your perspective. It's kind of, you're showing it to me. There isn't a card for this, but you're talking through my heart. You're showing me as if it's like kind of the magician acts of where they bring out the oohs and ahs. The awesomeness of like a hangman who's attached to that board, and the man is tied out like this by all four quadrants, and they begin to spin the wheel, and often the magician or the one of super feats is blindfolded, and they start to throw the knives. Okay, and it's like you're wanting to really play a game, play with fortune, play with your skills to see what you have to bring up and out of you, which I love for you, Virgo, because for so long, this cycle of earth you've been in having to, I love it. I'm just going to say what y'all are saying. Play nice with others. Play fair. Play nice. And in that sense, it's often been unfair to Virgo. It's been leveraged that you do the work, other people get the reward, which you didn't mind because you're very service-oriented and coming forth from the heart. I mean, to me, the heart carries a lot of golden energy. Look at all that light, all that gold, all that wealth, all that intention and divineness coming forward for the sake of others. But like the bee, you did the work and didn't get the honey. You got enough to survive for the next generation to come on through, but the people in the life and the greater good that you were in service to got the honey. You did the work, got the honey. You did the work, they got the honey. And you're like, hey, wait, cha-chow, we're putting a stop to this. So you guys are the first to get a tea leaf reading from a new set of cards I got. They're fantastic. They're circles, so they have to do a lot with, to me, eternity. To me, I think it's called the lemniscape, but I just call it the infinity symbol. Is really, from top down, it's a circle. It's a circle that's in motion. It's like a pot that's stirring. And you're wanting, look at it, you're wanting to stir that pot. You're wanting a different perspective of love, because for so much you've had to operate out of this energy, y'all. This depth, this like kind of a foreign energy of having to place so much in the mind. It's like Gemini, but being trapped in a body, in a contract that has to be played out. And the world gets the honey, and you get the work. And you're not down on it per se. I know that. And so I love that we can talk honestly and openly here without judgment. You're like saying you're so tired of weighing the scales of the mind. You just want to flip the scales and make it spin, make it turn, thus the Wheel of Fortune. You want to take your chances and play with life and see how it all works out. See how it begins to be more of a dynamic energy. See, look at the light circuits going on around Panda here in the balance. I love that it's not just showing a yin and yang. It's not just showing the scales going on. You're really wanting to turn the tide and turn the volume up. You're wanting to see the goodness of life, that life in its fullness, in its full expression. And that's where you jumped into these cards over here, and you're telling me why. You're telling us why. You're tired of coming out alone in this, and as you see here, doing all the work, carrying the full burden of the two in the dynamic. And the two means you plus another party. You and your office, you and your parents, you and your siblings, you and your comrades, you and whatever. And you didn't mind it, but it has gotten, like, I'm seeing you guys right here, weighty. It's like weighty and almost like your heart's pulling forward, and you feel like this. So if this is calling you and speaking to you, we're getting ready to dive in and play a few more cards to see what you have to say now. But I wanted to let you know that I hear where you're coming from. You've shown me where you're coming from. And you're like, I want to escape. However I have to. I want to escape the sensibility of this. I want to escape the logic. I want to escape the predictable path. And you just want to relax and unwind and get away. And for some of you, you definitely are moving, and you're moving across the sea. So for those of you that you know, it will be ringing a bell. It will be lighting up like this star right here. So I would say explore that a little more deeply, and get in touch with yourself about, and your spirit, about what that could be. All right. So basically you're wanting reciprocation, this communion, connection with life itself. And where in Leo, we were having to even introduce the idea of that coming in. And with them, it's coming in through a divine other. With y'all, you're just flat out saying you're ready to dance with life. You're ready to taste life for yourself, to taste your own honey, to taste the sweetness that you've been working with, but you want to now relate to it, have that relationship, that divine connection. And to me, relationship, relating, communion has to do like this, a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. It's not where it's a ministry or a work or a greater good. It's that type of thing. It literally is that whipping around, the connecting with the divine to where it's symbiotic. It's a benefit to both parties. And you want to see the bigger picture. So here we've got Fox, Hills, and Hat. And it says shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business, meaning y'all are Earth. So you have a lot of business minded about, how things work. But that was the lens through which you saw the bigger picture. And it says obstacles to overcome, you will be playing a different role. So you're really wanting to be able to step in to see the whole big picture. The one that has meaning as well, that has deliciousness, that you're not just the chef preparing the food. You're not just the host or the hostess. You sit down, you come, oh, hello, bitches, I love it. You come to the table of life. You do this, you go in the water to get wet, right? You prepare the food to taste it. You connect in order to contribute, but also receive. You got some balance going on there. I like that. Okay. Okay. And that's the transformation. I see it right here in the center with 48, the butterfly garden. You are calling it in. You are creating this moment. You are in alignment with your energy and the energies that are galactically, cosmically, energetically around you coming in as well. The way the planets are aligning are actually to everyone's benefit right now. People keep talking about the stress or the strain. We just see it as a workout, an opportunity to leverage and maximize our energy. Anybody who exercises, who has a healthy immune system and that sort of thing, the output might be like 50 cents and the return is $2. So really you get $2.50, right? So you don't lose anything by putting that energy out, but exponentially it is coming back to you. And that's what you're showing me in your transformation with the alignment of the planets that are going on right now. Is so little investment brings such a great return when you're aware of the energies and you don't see them as against you or malefic or difficult or challenging. You just see them as playful energies, adding to your tools. Or like here you see my paints up on the wall. I'm an artist as well. Adding to your resources. Like it's a collaborative effort. And so you're like, ooh, goody, we get to share. Okay. And I have a little stream of them going on over here. So let me take a quick look at what that was really talking about. Yeah. So it was saying that you truly at your heart desire happiness. And here is why. When we talk about being made of stardust or the particles or the plasma, our spiritual genetics, what we physically are made of is happiness in and of itself. Most of us don't recognize that, and therefore we're in pursuit of it. But really what we need to do is to stay in our space, to be in who we are, in our amness of what we are, and living it out in a state of grace that is enjoyable and pleasant and to the benefit of all. Us being ourselves is actually to the benefit of all. It is the balance that we came in to be, to harmonize our planet. It's just like not only the different instruments in a symphony, but they have the different chairs, so they each know their roles and their notes of what they're playing and how they're playing it. And so it's this dynamic organization of information and participation. Man, y'all are intelligent. I love these words that are spilling out, what you're teaching us right now. I hope you're just grasping, because I can feel your feet running. But it's let me know that there's new things coming in for you, and they're going to become tangible and physical. And in a sense, it's like a business that benefits you, you getting the honey, right? And that triggers fear or worry. It triggers an energy that you label as anxiety as opposed to anticipation. And what the card shows here is clearly we've got the good fortune coming in. All right. So with the good fortune coming in and it being, as the star, guaranteed success. Can y'all see that? To me, the star is when everything's in order. Everything is dynamic. It's all working. It's alive, activated. And it has its own energy to it, because what you're being drawn towards is a creation that is wanting to come forth. It is meant to come forth, so it has its own life force and is dynamic in creation with you. So engage with it as if it is its own being, as if it's its own person. Ask that desire of birthing questions of, well, how would you want me to do this? What would that look like? As opposed to and doing a bunch of research and thinking it should this or thinking it should that, because that's kind of what you're showing me here in the panda, is you're wanting to do away with prescriptive logic, because it just bogs you down and it throws you in this state that's very watery as opposed to transitional. Okay. But anyways, it says it'll be coming as this divine gift. So that's what's all going on here. We're going to mix all these back in and see where you want to go from here, guys. All right. Got my little tea leaf bowl that we may be tapping into again a little bit later. Let me stir those in and clear this away. So how have y'all been? I hope you've been doing well. I hope you haven't been letting things stress you out. I'm glad that you're recognizing like that burden, that pressure that's been on you, and knowing that you get along, little doggy. You're like, I'm not going for that anymore. And that's power in and of itself, is recognition when it is time. to transform, time to transcend, time to change. I think I want to set this deck aside as opposed to taking time to shuffle it. We're going to move this one around, slide that one in, just in case you call for this again. So we've had the solar eclipse. We are about to have Venus direct. We've got Mars doing some things coming up. We've got Mercury doing some things. But as I said, y'all, they're inviting us all to see it as like recess, as playtime, as something to put our whole self into and to really experience, navigate, connect with holistically. And don't use the typical definition of that, but they mean holistically, like that, in the whole self. And it goes beyond health, because when we're happy, we are healthy. Okay? Genuine happiness. When we are operating in our self, in our amness, we are. Alright, we're going to toss these aside for right now, and I'll handle them later. It's often why I'll do a traditional spread and have things laid out beforehand, as I don't want to use up your time shuffling. But you guys were very eager to jump on in, and you wanted those to remain, to be able to express yourself and see your expression, to see that you have been received, that there is an energy, that there is this life force out there that is getting you, and that is putting my vote, my check mark with you, saying, yeah, word up, bring it on, life for you guys, to have that permission to taste the honey, to dive in, to play with the energies and create this new beingness for our world, this new, it's almost like when you combine with life force coming in, a whole new baby, a whole new world, a whole new thought is coming in, and it's one that is life-giving, one that is nourishing and both magic and medicine, right? Okay. So I'm going to go here first. This is, let me see, what are these called? Divine Animals Oracle. Gotta get a couple of these for y'all. Yep. There's one. Let's get one more for Virgo. For our friends here. Things are looking up, y'all. That's what I see. You're saying goodbye to the back of the bus. I like that. It's like that is letting me know you're often the one that holds the door. You see it as your duty of like, I know the right thing to do, so I should do it. You're going in, you might even have your popcorn at the movie, and you're just still holding the door. And people are going, and all of a sudden it's as if this huge influx of people are going, like mass exodus across the river, and you're stuck holding it, and you're thinking, I didn't mean it to be all this. I meant to help a few, just to do my part. I want to go in and enjoy the movie too. Well, that's what we see coming in here on the Meerkat. You know, you're saying goodbye to that back end of the first being last. Now it's time for the last to be first. For you get to take your seat, to dive on in and to enjoy the show, to become a part of a great big family is what I hear here. And there's a spirit family coming down as well, but there is also a physical, tangible one going on. And I see you, there is saying taking life by charge. I know the saying is typically taking life by force, but you're taking it by charge. It's like seeing it there and running to the line, stepping to the line, towing up to the line, not just standing back and kind of, you know, trying to feel it out as the line. What is that line? What is it for? There is this urgency in you for newness and fresh new experience, for this whole new way coming in. And you're meeting it, you're greeting it, you're getting right up there to it. And alongside it, this card keeps dancing out of this new deck I have. It's number 35, and it says Ritual Bison. Your heartbeat. Okay, so to me, out of the earth signs, Virgo can be quite refined. You know, more beautiful, very good with words, a great communicator, not so blunt. You can get it across directly without being so direct. Being able to play with words and woo others in and that sort, but you're awakening a deeper spirit, one that is like, whatever. It's like pushing the curtains back, whatever I got to do to get to this, to bring this in, to bring in this divine connection, the return of my energy, to be able to see the return of my investments, and to, you know, cook and prepare the food, but to sit down and enjoy it with the company as well, to really taste and see that life is good and life loves you. So you're stirring up your heart, you're stirring up your belly, you're stirring up your resources and your gifts and talents that have been latent, that they've been down there, but you didn't see a need to bring them out for anybody else, because you'd have to transition and translate and explain what they're about. But for yourself, you speak your own heart language. They're images and visions and dreams and desires that for you, you didn't keep them up here for whatever reason. You let them settle down in the depths and in the bottom. And that good news is what is awakening here. As opposed to sounding the trumpet, you're sounding the alarm by the beat of the drum. As your heart begins to beat with that type of passion, it is like a call to awaken those and to activate those parts of yourself, those gifts, those talents that you've kept in reserve for a time such as this. Like the divine awakening of love. Okay. So let's get a little clarity and color here. I'm going to get 2 more. I'm feeling 3 coming on out. 2 more cards, please, for Virgo. I told you y'all are chatty. You should have seen these guys. They were flying everywhere, insisting on coming out and talking. That's too many. Let's see how many are down there. Let's give it another go. For Virgo, let's get some clarity here, some specificness, some direction and guidance from the deeper self, from those giftings that have been down beneath. Okay, and then I hear to pull that bottom one. So there we go. We're going to see what's bridging the gap here between your worlds of where you've been. Remember that card number 48, the butterfly garden. So we're going to see what's bridging right here. We've got pure nature, the journey, and weaving flowers. 7, perfect 10, and a 6. Okay, connecting. You're wanting the perfection of the connection between others and yourself. And perfection, I love that word, and I know Virgos do too, but you can often be afraid of it, but understand that the vibration of perfection means it all works out. Perfection, Tion, is an ongoingness, so it's more like, it's more spherical, more eternal, as opposed to linear. And that's why I love the word perfection, is it's this ongoing, developing, dynamic, original, organic creation. And so let me give you all a peek. What's going on here? Better than that. There we go. Okay. You had something under wraps for a while. Hey, you awaken in those depths. I see it. I see it. So this is the other's card, the weaving of flowers. This is the magic that you've done so long, kind of like the honeybee, right? You're doing what you do, producing something beautiful, something absolutely original, and you've been privy to it but haven't tasted. Okay? And then this is you in your own personal energy, taking time to see your beauty, to smell your fragrance, to imbibe in your own essence, and giving yourself permission to pamper, to do things for yourself. And male or female, pampering can be different things. It means that added touch of ooh or ah. It's going to sound like that. It's going to be like, ooh, ah, yes, oh, those type of things. That is what pampering is. It's that little something extra that takes it from ordinary to extraordinary, that really perks you up and gets you into your limbic system, that activates the operation of that part of the mind. And so what I'm seeing here is, so this is all you're supposed to do. Begin to do that, and then watch the connection, the bridge, boop, boop, it pops out like a toaster. I love it, okay? Because it's like, you start living like this over here, right? Okay, you begin to think, yeah, I got it. I'm bringing it. I am pretty fantastic. I like the way I look. I like the sound of my laugh. I like the friends I have. And you begin to really getting to like steep in that, to soak in that, like that bathtub that was in our previous card up here called To the Sea. You begin to really soak in who you are and to be rich in your own essence, that then here you are and doop, out pops that bridge. So taking this time to move forward into self-will of its own divinity and its own originality, create this bridge, okay, that connects you right on over back to others in the way you've been, but it's in the proper order. It's in alignment with the directionality of how your energy flows, that it's of benefit to the whole system, like the solar system, the universe, that type of thing, and the self, okay? I'm feeling called to these guys here. This is the Antique Anatomy Tarot. I'd like 5 cards for Virgo, please. Give us a little direction on this soaking in the self. Hang on a second. If that's 5, I'll take them. If not, I'm going to ship them. Okay, it is. I thought so. Mine, I really hyper shuffle my decks because I love each reading to stand on its own, so that you're not having to carry in the energy of previous signs. It's also why I don't do reversals, because then you're having to piggyback your energy off of somebody else. I've told my cards and my energy that works with me that if reversals are necessary, they'll come out. They find their own way. But just so y'all understand where the energy's coming from and how it's always fresh and delivered like fresh from the oven for you and where you're at this moment today. So let's see, you're wanting to really go in the middle here. Okay. So this is the one of elixirs. It says love potion, not number 9, not the end of the line, not the you always lose yourself, but the one. Look at that. I love it that even though it's still capped and sealed in the bottle, can you see that? You see the seal still up there? There's already life coming to greet you, coming to meet you. It's like as you've begun to show me this and we're unwrapping and unveiling this. Oh yeah, that's pretty potent. I can feel it. For some of you, that makes you a little nervous. It makes you a little nervous. But all of life is already drawing to meet you because you were so decisive and not just of the mind. You're wanting to move forward in the action of genuinely, truly connecting with life and the purpose, the full meaning of why you're here, the fulfillment, the wholeness. It's from all over the world. For some of you, you have a diverse friend set. And we're not just talking about color of skin here and personalities. We're talking about little snapshots like a passport, like travels from around the world. And for some of you, as things normalize and resume, you will be traveling quite a bit around the world. A lot of movement for an earth sign. But to be able to taste and see all that you've put off for a time, putting off to a future day, a future time, while the future is here now is what you're saying. So you're having us jump over here to take a little kind of a backwards glance to see where you're coming from. And it's the Queen of Elixirs and the 9 of Elixirs. To see what's in the background. The 9 and the Queen. So it's obvious here you're a natural beauty. And male or female, beauty has to do when we're the same on the inside as we are on the outside. So you're not someone who plays games or manipulates like that, okay? You're not, even if manipulate means to move with the hands, so even if you're navigating and are coordinator in life is a lot of what you've been doing in your service, you're a natural beauty because you're true through and through to the best that your awareness is, and that's all we can do. Because ignorance is really where all the fallout and what are you saying? Skullduggery? What is that? Anyways, when all that kind of the shenanigans and those sort of things come from, you need to know that you're a true beauty. and to begin to let your breath move fully throughout your body, no longer carrying the burden that there was something wrong with you in the sense of needing more work, needing to be worked on. Remember up here me talking about this perfection? Okay? This is exactly who you are and how it should look. No need to alter yourself. No need to refine, adapt, grow. This love potion in the center is about really embracing, letting life embrace you exactly as you are. That's why it's not even, the seal's not even broken yet. Remember up here in this top row, we were talking about that those dreams and desires and certain giftings of yours had settled down inside, like where you haven't even been looking at them. And it's saying you're perfect exactly as you are. You're a natural beauty. So you're attractive in and of your own right. It's like, being a flower, bees are going to be attracted. The things that are meant for you will come and will find you. And as you explore, you'll happen upon them because of the magnetism, the draw of life, that connection that you so much felt and were drawn through and to in your work beforehand with others. This otherness, when it comes about, and the reason I say others, it's 33, it's a 6. This otherness is like a divine meeting of the minds now. You actually get to be on both sides, in yourself and in the others. The chef that gets to sit down and have the meal with his company, okay? So over here in the 9 of Elixirs, there's all sorts of things going on. I love it. I'm going to read them to you. So the Wish Tonic, the Bliss Brew, Love Potion, the Joy Elixir, the number 8 and the number 9, number 5, 6, and 7. So it's about really dressing things up. As what works for you. And you're given this underlying tone because remember, it was kind of in the background. Like you're saying this is what killed you. That you having and being so much of what other people desire in their own life and wish for, it's kind of what killed you and drained you dry, because others were getting their needs met out and from and through you, where we all actually come equipped like this. That's what I meant about we're made of happiness, that stardust, those particles. And when we come into our own knowing of that, the truth, like being a healer of healers, is being able to know the truth and stand it. You're not pushed off of it. When you realize that we're all made of that, you don't feel the compulsion, which is an energy suction. It is an extraction that's occurring as opposed to being generous and giving. And it's being drawn and sucked out of you and pulled out of you. And that's what you're letting me know, is you have a negative connotation with that card, as opposed to, okay, I feel you turning around right now because the fragrance just escaped. And you're like, thank you for explaining that, because I now see the beauty in who I am. And I don't have to hide it or suppress it or feel guilty about having anything nice, about doing, pampering or self-care, or taking things to the level that awakens my pleasure, that really causes my honey to flow or my fragrance to open up from the rose. Okay? So stepping forward, this is like you're putting the car in gear now and it's starting to roll. And we're going to take a look at what is right here under your pure nature. You have the 8 of Blades. I want to show it to you and then take a closer look. So you're talking to me about feeling a little different inside than how others perceive you. And I would say there that it's not about others' perception. This pure nature, you need to see yourself through your eyes, okay? See yourself through your own eyes. That's like getting back over here in the fragrance being released. Enjoying your own beautiful self. Sometimes when you feel that there's going to be junk afoot, there's going to be like shenanigans, drama, that sort of thing, you can just say no to the invitation. You don't have to go. You don't have to engage. You don't have to imbibe. Like if you were at a buffet and everybody's there and can make their own plate based on what they desire, what they're drawn to, what they like, you're not going to let anybody force you to put something on your plate that you don't want. Well, you are your plate. Life is the buffet. And so you can just say no. And anybody, when they're poking or prodding you, you don't have to get in on that, because generally if somebody's provoking, prodding, trying to find answers as to why, they want to know so that they can break down your position. They can get you to do what they're desiring for you, instead of you being able to stand in your own right, in your own beauty and your own power, okay? In this fantasticness. And that seems to be your only kind of misgiving or hesitation right here under the being yourself, the pampering yourself is really letting it in. And it's kind of like you're going, well, if I start doing that, isn't the alarm clock going to ring and wake me up from this dream? And what I'm here to say is, from what you're showing me, the answer is no. Our whole world is shifting into a new frame. It's not just COVID, y'all. It really has to do with that earth shift to the air shift. It has to do with these new energies coming in, with eyes being open for those of us, like the planets speak with me. They tell me the best about themselves. And when any of us, when we walk in our best, those things that are seen as our weaknesses or our shortcomings or whatever, it's not that they just get downplayed or glossed over. They actually just don't even come to the table, because it's not who or what we're about. Each of us is an asset. Each of us is something beautiful. We're all a solution, because we're actually made of salt water, and salt water is known as solution. We're not a problem. And if you find yourself surrounded by problems, you're in the wrong environment, okay? And once you end your time by yourself, to realize these other things, to steep in the essence that you are delightful, and not that it's mantras or mindset or words, because I see your mind relaxing more. I see this divine communion of your spirit and your mind. And remember, before, like that movement from the throat that was going on was absent of words. Therefore, it's absent of word talk in the brain as well. And it's just this essence, this flow, this plasma, this amnios of just like you're the tea and the world around you is water, and it's steeping, and you're becoming this beautiful elixir. So going from there, we have the 10 of coins. Take a peek. Look at that. So the flowers here are called Johnny Jump Ups, and they're edible flowers, by the way. So they're related to the pansy, and they're very hardy to even coldness. So I see, once you understand this and you realize that you are perfection, that life is actually focusing on all your assets and all your beauty and all your great qualities, that the other stuff has been putting the microscope in the wrong place. And you're resilient, you bring life to the table, you're a willing participant, you hold your hand up and bring the answers. So that means you're studying, you're growing, you're developing on your own in your own free time, that you're a liver of life. I love that. So I'm going to peek inside these coins. Basically, you're a wealth, a storehouse. You have a little bit of everything. You have a little bit of everything. So don't dismiss yourself at not being a master of any one thing. If feeling like, you're kind of explaining it to me, that you feel sort of disoriented and discombobulated, like, why haven't I figured life out by now? I'm smart enough, I should know by now. And that's why you see yourself as less than perfect. You see yourself as failing and flawed, as something yet to strive for, to push for, which is, it takes you out of energetic alignment. It takes you into a sideways vibration that is like, it's sickening to the gut. So those of you who are having gut issues, listen up here. It's like you're a master playing this instrument, but you don't know to tune the strings. That's all you have to do, is tune it. And that means let the E be the E, the G be the G. You're not having to adjust or adapt who you are. That this plant is pure perfection. What is below is in unison with what is above. They may not look the same, but they are the same. They're of one vibration, of one unit, of one genetic predisposition, is kind of what you're saying. Hope that makes sense. But get on the page with yourself and realize that you're a recipe for life. You know, there's never one recipe. Nobody creates a recipe book for one-step wonders. They don't say, take orange, slice it, eat orange, ta-da! You know, it doesn't say, take grain of rice, eat grain of rice. There is no such thing. That's one dimensional, and it's like you've been disdaining yourself for that very thing instead of recognizing that you're these intricate pieces and parts that come together to make something unique, tasty, delicious, and divine. It's like each of the different parts and components of yourself can be recombined in a number of ways to create a wealth and a resource for others to expand and explore life through. That's fantastic. I love it. So, you were telling me you wanted to spill a little more tea. So we're going to swirl these around and see what we've got going on here for Virgo. What have we got? All right. Take the two on top. We're going to, pardon me. It's one of the benefits of sitting in my floor, aside from my two-tiered table that holds all my cards. Bird flying, you want to know that news is on the way, and broken ring, parting of the ways in either romance or business. This I would not have any concern over. It's like this where it's saying news is on the way, the bird. To me, I'm hearing you say clearly newness is on the way. So the ring was something, it was a cycle, an eternity, like that infinity that we were talking about at the beginning of this session that we're having here. So you might want to click back to the front and listen to the first few minutes to create the full scope of what we've been talking about here, which I've been sharing with us here. So this breaking about romance or business is love and money. Those are the two things that we operate in here. It's two forms of energy, just like purpose and meaning. And you said clearly you were already breaking it off. You were breaking up with yourself. You were done with the way that you had been living because you realized that it wasn't authentic and real. Not you and of yourself, but the energy in the world around you is beginning to move, especially those of you who've been tuning in here. When I was encouraged, aka pushed forward to do this channel, it was about awakening in people in life, their pure potential. There's something that has to push potential over into actual and keep it going, and it's not anything of my own doing. It's the energy wanting to be able to put through there, and in it, this whole new beauty, life, color, palette, canvas, divine creation is coming through you, coming out of you into our world, and we get to be privy to the deliciousness that it brings, the divine connection, the new array of life, like a whole new world coming in. So I wouldn't be concerned about that broken ring. That is exactly what it means. As you said, you were done with the old way. And it's the way of how the world has been operating, and not just the volatility of what's going on in these days. Those are very tangible, very earthy things. It had to do more with all the states of matter. We've got the liquid, solid, gas, and plasma, all the states. You're like, it's all been wrong. Our concept is old. It's outmoded. And it's like, why would you put a square wheel on a vehicle once you realize a wheel should be round and that's how it rolls? And you were like, I am so done. I'm sorry, y'all are hearing it. I'm hearing it. I'm done with this stupidity. I'm done with it. And I love it because that's the height of your anger. And so I want you to know you're beautiful. You're perfect. You are divine. Let this bridge pop out. Enjoy who you are. And let us just witness it, to be a part of it. In that sense, we're a recipient, because you being you, it intoxicates our world with your fragrance. Okay, so I'm going to peek in over here to see what else we got going on. These are the little side ones of the tea. I'm not going to look till I see here. Okay. Okay. So career. Some of you, this is a legit shift in how you earn your money. It's a legit shift in how you've been connecting with others. You're wanting it to be more natural, not so forced. For those of you that remember, you were kind of good. Your collarbones look like this, and like your neck muscles look like that. This could possibly be talking to you here. You don't want to be hunkered over. You're really wanting to have these dynamic connections of putting a name and a face to things, not just doing the key punching, not just doing the schlepping, the stuff that's being passed off from others. It's like you've been doing the crumbs of everybody else at your work. If that resonates, this is speaking to you. Okay? For some of you, it's a bit more esoteric. It's not just the pinnacle and the hardcore career. It has more to do with like the mindset and your beingness in your all day, everyday life, no matter what category that is moving through. And you'll know because it has been hearkening since March, April. And maybe you thought you were kind of discontent because of COVID, or you were getting blasé because energy in life had shifted so much and your identity was shifting. But this is all come in when things come that are distasteful or that we don't like. That's when it operates as medicine. But eventually the medicine becomes magic, because there's magic in the medicine. Thank you for that. There was magic in the medicine. And during those times of discontent, it can be an unearthing and a disturbing, a stirring up of things that had gone latent, and giving you an opportunity to see all the ingredients coming together in a new recipe of life. I love it. You're that fantastic recipe. I look forward to tasting and seeing what life is like through you guys. I've enjoyed our time together. I'm so appreciative for who you are and your courage to live life so boldly and so free. It's magic and medicine to us all. Thank you for tuning in. And I say bye to you, Virgos, for now. This is Joy. I love you. Take care.